And ta-da! On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'll be sharing with you how to make a marble cake at home. But before I get right into the tutorial, I just want to pause to say manners and respect to the people supporting the Jamaican Cooking Journey page. Those who are new, welcome and thank you. And our oldie but goodie ones that were here from the beginning, manners and respect. Special shout out to my patrons. If you would like to be a part of my Patreon family, click on the link in the description and show us some love right on over on Patreon. Our post notification shout out today, they go right there. Marble cake. Let's go make one. So for this marble cake, you're going to need some butter. As we go along, I'll try to get it on the screen. You're going to need some granulated sugar white. You're going to need some eggs. I added 1 or 2 that was not so fresh. You know that. I don't know. I just got them, but it seems as if they didn't put their eggs in the refrigerator. But you know what happened? Nevertheless, we're going to go. You try to get fresh eggs. We have a little milk here. We've got our flour. We're going to be using some cocoa powder. We have baking powder. We have salt. We have a little vanilla. We're going to add some lime juice to it. And we have only one ingredient missing. That is our hot water. So as we go along, I'll try to put whatever I use on the screen. So right in here now, I've got my butter and it's salted. So I'm going to be start with creaming my butter. I haven't done a cake like that in the longest while, that with the creaming method of the creaming of the butter and the sugar. But I'm going to be getting the butter softened before I add my sugar. So I'm going to start that on like the medium. So I've got my butter softened somewhat, and it has, you see that? So I'm using salted butter, but I will add a little salt, but not a lot. So if you're using unsalted, you would need to use like a little more. If you're using unsalted, you'd have to adjust your salt. I'm using salted, but that is not enough to say I have got to use a small amount of salt. So I have here my sugar, and I'll put it as I go along on the screen. So now that I've softened my butter, and you want to stop at different intervals and scrape around, I have added my sugar, and we're going to start creaming from the medium. I'm scraping around side of my bowl. Now it's time for me to start adding my eggs, one at a time, but maybe more than one might go into mine because, you know, 2 of them. I'm using 5. The eggs is 4 medium. These are small, so I'm using 5, but I'll put that on the screen for you. And you know, we're going to use it addition after addition. On the medium, I'm going to be adding my last egg. And might I say right now, I should have told you, before you start all these exercises, preheat your oven to 350 Celsius or Fahrenheit. If it's Celsius, you know it's 360, 375, 380 thereabout. Last of the eggs still on the medium. We're creaming. So right here I have my 2 cups of flour. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna put about 1/2 teaspoon of salt because I have salted butter. If your butter is unsalted, go 1 teaspoon. I've got in here, I'm gonna put some vanilla. I'm just gonna put probably about 1 teaspoon. I don't want any more. I want to point out something to you too. You may have your mixture curdling at this point, but don't worry about it. So I'm going to be sifting in my flour in small portions, okay? So I'll be sifting in maybe about 2 or 3 of this, and as it gets in, I'm going to start folding it in, and I'll be showing you what I'll be doing. So we're going to be starting to fold in now this flour, and this is where all that little what's that thing, that little curdling, you will just get rid of it. So you want to mix it in, just gently mix it in as you go along. So I'm going to be sifting it in at different, so I'll use this in about 3 different parts and return. So with the last of my flour in, I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons of plain milk. You could add 2 tablespoons of 1 tablespoon of condensed milk mixed in, 1 tablespoon of condensed milk mixed in a tablespoon of water. You could do that, but I have plain milk, so I'm just using my plain milk. At this point, I think I need a little lime juice, and this lime juice is gonna be about like half of a teaspoon, just to, oh, my limes are jolted out, fam. Wow, this lime is so big, you see it? And I can't even get 1/4 of a teaspoon out of it. But you just want to use this little, wow, this little lime juice. I hardly got 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, and you know you have got to sift it out, okay? You don't want to do it without sifting it out. And you can use your cocoa powder of choice, unsweetened, no sugar in this one. You just want to eyeball it and add 1 tablespoon of water to make a paste. So if your tablespoon is not accurate, you put a little more depending on the texture of the cocoa powder too. Yeah, some of them, so you just use that in a family. You're looking at nice rich paste, you don't want it too watery, as you'll see what I'll do in the next clip. So if it's just too dry, you know, it's just a simple thing. You add 2 tablespoons, but it's a little dry, so you'll need a little more water because it depends on the texture of the cocoa powder that you are using, okay? You wanna, yeah, as I say, you just wanna make it like a little paste, not too dry, not too watery. And you want to get it all rubbed in and evened out. So 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and you no more than 2 tablespoons, but you want to have the hot water until it's at this texture. You see that? But why is it? You're gonna fold in a half or a part of this mixture in there. So that this is our regular mixture. All there, everything in. You see there's no curdling now. So we're gonna put in about a half. And if you feel like you're not accurate enough, use your scale, okay? But I'm just gonna eyeball this for now. And I think that might be it. Or just I might need a little more. We're gonna fold this mixture into this cocoa powder. We're making a marble cake. And you could make a marble cake too with like food coloring, other stuff you could use. So we are folding this in until we have that all chocolate. You gotta fold in all this vanilla or this plain cake mixture in. You want to fold it right in. Remember cutting and folding and all of that. So you don't want to get the chocolate mixture too watery. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So you have to know what you do. So I'm gonna keep on scraping in and folding in until there is no trace of the white mixture. We're getting there. You see the texture of it? You see the texture? You see the texture of this one? It's a little bit. So what you want to do, you want to add just like a little more in this. We're ready. We're using a 8x4 bun pan. What we're going to be doing right now, we are going to be putting probably about, you see, just look at what I do. The amount is not really necessary at this time. I'm going to put some down to the middle of the pan. So you're going to put it in the middle. right there, okay? You want to get the same amount, and you're going to put it right onto the top right here. If you're looking at what I'm doing, so it's like almost like we are layering it. I think my angle is not good. We're doing it in 3. We're gonna do a next set right there. You see that? It doesn't matter if it falls to the side or anything, and we have one more set leave there. So this is the second of the chocolate on top. We're gonna put it there. This here is the last of the plain, okay? And we're gonna get it right in. Right on top. You're gonna be needing a skewer at this point, and you're gonna use the skewer to just mix. Just make dollops and curves as you go along. Just shake it a bit. Into the oven we go for about 45 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, now cooking fam, or cake is out of the oven, partway cooled. Let us see what we have got here in the marbling. I'm gonna take a slice out for you, and ta-da! Woo! Look at this perfect marble cake. Thanks for watching.